Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and today is Casing Tuesday, and that's the day when we take a card out of a catalog that Stampin' Up! Has, a current catalog, and we give it a little makeover. Or if you like the card just as it is, you're welcome to copy it exactly. And we have a Facebook group for that where you can join us and share your own cards. And the link for that is down below in the description of the video. Sometimes you have to click on show more or see more to see that full description to get the link. And you can pop over there and check out all the cards that were posted today. And most cards get posted that week, and you can see all the different variations. It's really interesting sometimes to see how people take the sketch and make it their own, or sometimes we copy each other's cards when we're doing it too. So it's a lot of fun. So today's card, let's have a look. Where am I? This is today's card. And on first glance, this card may look, a little one-colored, but this card actually has a lot of potential. And you'll see when you see my card how colorful I made mine. But the interesting thing about this card is it has 3 layers going across, and then it's got kind of white peeking out behind. So the easiest way to create this card is actually to cut the background layer the size that the full size almost of the card with the margins taken off, and then to add your paper pieces that come across it on top of that. And that's what they did here, because you can see the little dragonflies have white popping out behind it. That's because the white cardstock extends the full length of the card except for the margins. So this is going to be a really fun challenge, and I know you're going to love it. I really love the sketch today, even though I was not the one that picked it. So let me switch over to showing you my sketch. Where is it? Aha, here it is. So here is today's sketch, and this is what the different measurements look like. That middle piece right there, that one is just a tiny bit smaller than the other 2 pieces. So just when you're cutting your card base or your layers for your card, just take note that that middle piece is just a little bit shorter. So when you do your if you want to do it exactly like the original card, just make your middle piece just a wee bit shorter. All right, I think we're going to jump right in and get started with this card, and I'm going to show you my card for the day. All right, here it is. And if you remember the card that I just showed you, it was very one-colored. And look at how colorful you can make this card. This paper that I'm using today is called Hues of Happiness. It is colorful floral paper on one side, and then most of the paper has kind of this neutral on the back side. So you can just really get a lot of different looks with this particular suite. Now, the interesting thing was this Hues of Happiness paper is part of a suite, and it has the hues of, what is it called? Let me grab it before I give you the wrong name. It's called the Happiness Abounds bundle, and I did not use this bundle today, although it is beautiful. I could have absolutely used it, but what I really wanted to play with was this new Charming Sentiments bundle. Look at how cool this greeting is. It was not hand cut by me, it was hand cut by these dies. All of the greetings in this stamp set have a matching die that cuts them out. Plus, there's extra little dies to play with, and that's how I made this little flower right here, or you could have made a heart or a candle. So one little thing that I did, these are 5 by 7 inch magnet cards that I got from Stamp and Storage, And I'm going to be storing these right in my case. I don't glue them in because I needed 2 magnet cards, but I just keep them loosely in my case and then I close them up. So one thing I did, because it's really hard to tell how these match up, so I did it one time, and what I did is I looked at how everything is arranged on the front right here. So that's how I arranged my dies on the magnet cards. So when I was looking for this one, Wishing You the Happiest Birthday, I located on here, and then I know my die is going to be up here. So this one, Beyond Grateful, I go 3 down, and then this will match up with Beyond Grateful. So I've got all of them pretty much matched up. I had to fudge a little bit down here to fit these guys in this corner all in, but the rest are all matching up with here, because otherwise each time you go and try and figure out where these dies are, you might have trouble because there's a lot of greetings here to match up. So if you do a good job the first time, you should be good to go. All right. And for me personally, I just use one greeting at a time. If I had more going on, then I'd probably want to find a different system if more people were using this die set at the same time, because then I'd want to know where everything goes back on the card. But maybe if everyone knows they have to line it up with the greetings on here, it will work. Who knows? But that's the way I will do it. Okay, so let's get started on this card. So I've got myself a card base, first of all, and this measures 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches and scored in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. To get it to lay flat, I'm going to use my bone folder and just smooth down that fold. Then I've got a piece of, this is what I was talking about, this background paper. This measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So it's got just a little bit of a margin all around the edge. And I'm going to piece my paper on top of here. It will make it a lot easier to do that. So this paper had a bunch of different gradients on it. So this is the paper I used, and I cut a 4-inch strip off of my 12 by 12. So I've got this leftover strip, and I'm going to use it now to build this card. So I want to flip over this paper because on this side, the florals are all florally and colorful, but I want to be a little bit, I want to choose this particular paper well. I think I would prefer to have green in this middle layer than yellow. So what I'm going to do is grab my trimmer, which wandered all the way across the room. Okay, so I'm going to grab it, and that middle piece is 1 5/8 inches. So I already know this is 4 inches wide, so I'm just going to make this 1 5/8. Cut that. So that will be my middle layer. And then these other 2 layers are going to be 1 3/4 inches. So we'll have that one, and that one will be up top here like that. And then we'll do another 1 3/4 inch one. And that will be down there at the bottom. And then we've got one more piece left over. This one is 1 3/4. So I've got another piece that I can use for one more card. And of course I'll need other layers for it too, but okay, let's have a look at this. We're going to have 2 different looking cards, right? Because one of them's going to have a slightly blue and this one's going to be a little bit more green. So we'll see how this one looks with a slightly different color. So I'm going to take these pieces now and adhere them to here. So the neat thing is, because I'm going to be cutting out my greeting, I don't need to worry about stamping on that designer series paper piece. I just want to make sure. Our lawn is being mowed right now. You might not, hopefully you won't hear that noise. The microphone hopefully will block it out. So it's easiest to glue the top and the bottom on first. And then whatever is left in the middle, that can be centered in between. Okay, and so this one will be centered. And the reason I didn't glue my greeting onto this very busy piece is I want the greeting to kind of, I don't know if I want it like this. Yeah, I think I want it like this. I wanted the greeting to stand out a bit, and if I had glued it to another strip of this very pretty but busy paper, it wouldn't have shown up quite as well. All right. Okay, isn't that just gorgeous, just like that? I already love this card. And then I can take this and adhere it to here. Good morning, Janine. I see you're on here. Wasn't this your pick for Casing Tuesday, this card layout? I really, really love it. I was wondering if you were going to be on here this morning. I love the layouts that have like a lot of defined layers, and this one does have a lot of defined layers. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so now we're going to take, I'm going to grab my mini boss and the mini boss plates over here. Okay, and first I need to stamp my greeting. I need a little layer of cardstock, and here's my greeting. I need a lot of happy birthday cards. So while there's a lot of really great sentiments in this thing, I think I'm going to stick to happy birthday because I'm going to need another birthday card in the future. And I'm going to take Night of Navy because that's the background color of this paper. And I like to stamp my greetings in dark colors if possible so they can be read. So we're just going to ink this up and stamp it down. That's all the stamping I'm doing in the entire card because the paper is too gorgeous. I just have to showcase it. Okay, now some of you may have gotten the mini boss during the sale, and this is just a reminder because people forget if they haven't die cut in a little while, or maybe you don't know this, but this, wow, that's really loud here. I hope you can't hear that. The recommended sandwich is by using base platform number 1, but that's not what works best for my machine. So I really am not using number 1, but number 3 is wonderful. And that's how I die cut all my dies now, with the 3 as the platform and then using 2 of the clear plates. That's a really great sandwich for my mini boss. So we're just going to pop this down and get a plate, and we're gonna get this, and now we're gonna get our little greeting. And remember, if I'm looking on the top here, there is my birthday greeting, so up here is my die. And then I'm just going to center this around here, and if you're doing the mini boss, you'll want to use a little something to hold your die in place so it doesn't shift. So just take a moment. This die nests really nicely around the words. So you just want to make sure to get it lined up well. I think I've got it lined up. Okay, and so I'm sticking a little post-it note tape on top of that. And then we're going to run this through. See how nicely the mini boss, here's my crank over on the side, I'm cranking it through. It just really is nice now that I've got the sandwich correct. Until then, I did not love my mini boss, but look at how beautiful. That cuts out your greeting. That would take a lot of time to fussy cut that out, and all those tiny little notches around the wishing and the U, that would take a long time. So then we want to cut some pieces to create a flower. So I've got some die cut here. So let's do this first. Do this and this. So our Charming Sentiments comes with some little extra pieces. So you can just choose to do some different ones. I'm going to do the base flower in Blushing Bride. And then this is going to be the stem of my flower. And I think I can do that without Post-it note tape this time. And I'll just pop that on and run it through. Okay. And whoa, slidey slidey. There's my little flower piece. Here's my little stem piece. And then we need an outline piece for the flower. There wasn't enough room to fit that on because I had cut my cardstock pieces a little too big. So I'm just using the ends of them. I could have made them smaller and then I could have done all three in one go, but I did not think of that this morning. And sometimes I just drop this a couple times and it will come out, and if it doesn't, then there's these little holes right here, and you just use a piercer or a thumbtack or a pin to pop that out if it doesn't want to come out easily. Okay, Mini Boss is lovely. Lovely now that I know how to use it. Okay, I'm gonna put my little dies back so I don't lose them. And now we can put our card together. Let's have a look. I always like to lay things out, and you know, sometimes when you're laying something out, you're like, I don't like that. I don't like that. So I actually glued a flower together earlier. So I take this darker outline flower and glue it to the Blushing Bride, and then I glue that to the little stem. But when I did it last night, it was taking a little while for the stem to dry onto the flower. So I thought I would just go ahead and glue one this morning. So I can put this on here like this. So I can have it be the little flower. And I think that looks really cute. Also, there's a little heart you could use, like if you didn't want to do the flower, you could do, you know, the little heart instead. That looks cute too. What do you think? Do you want me to do the heart or should I do the flower today? Let me know in the comments and I'll do whatever you decide. While you're deciding whether I stick the flower on there or the heart, I'm going to glue my greeting onto here. This is just so pretty. I just love this. See how nicely this now pops because it's all die cut. Just want to make sure it's straight. Oh, it looks so nice, doesn't it? Because it's like all popped out on the white like that. It's just cut so evenly. I think this Charming Sentiments bundle is going to be a huge hit because it's just the greetings, look at them, they're so nice, and then they have the matching dies to go with them all. Okay, I am going to look. Okay, I've got 3 flowers. Okay, I'm going with the flower, so the flower is going on the card. So we're going to take this and adhere it to the card, and then we can contrast it with the other one. And the stem is going over top of my white line. If that bothered you, you could take like a little scissor and snip it off, but I kind of like that it extends beyond. It's okay. So then last thing I want to do is these glossy dots I think really work well with this paper. So I'm just going to add a few of them. And I know it's kind of being very, you know, flower center, one of them to go on the flower center, but I like the look of it on my other card, so I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to grab a big old purple dot and stick it somewhere down here. I think I'll just stick it in with the darker color here, and then I'm going to take a pink dot, and I'm going to put the pink dot up over top here. And it's kind of buried in the darkness, but what I like this to do, I don't want the dots to take over the card. I just want them to catch the light. So I don't know if you can see that. I've got one in the bottom and one on the top, but when you turn the card, it catches the light, and then we've got the little flower center there. And there we go. So we've got two sort of different looking cards, right? But they both look beautiful. I don't know, what do you like better? Do you like the one that has kind of the pool party background, or the one that has kind of the granny apple green, like we'll call this the blue and then the green card? I don't know which one I like better. I think they both look really nice. So even if this middle piece was yellow, I think it would still look nice because you've got it flipped around. The one thing I do kind of like with this card is these two panels were right next to each other. So you can kind of see how these flowers here just have a strip and they would be squished together. This one, what I did was I cut the three panels all in a row and I flipped the middle one. So these two panels were not next to each other in the paper cut. So I could have done a better job of having those ones look like they would match together if I put them together. But it's such a busy all over floral pattern that, you know, it might not have mattered too much. But I think this one has more cohesiveness with the top and the bottom a little bit. And this one has like more varied colored blooms. So I don't know, what do you think? Blue or green? Blue or green? Pick one. Pick one. All right, I'm coming back over to you guys. I'm gonna talk to you in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know, as always, I have a host code going this month. So if you want to place an order, maybe you saw something today that you wanted to pick up, I have a host code running for the month, and if you spend at least $15 with me, you'll get to choose one of my free with purchase tutorials. And if your tutorial is over $50, you'll get that tutorial. You'll get to pick the tutorial, and you're going to get some beautiful heart pearls, and these will be mailed out in June. They are colorable. Is that even a word? You can color them with Stampin' Blends, and so they look really nice if you color them. And so that will be the gift of the month if you spend over $50 with me in May. And please use the host code, and that way I can gather up all the host code, and so that I can order those heart pearls with the rewards. That's what I do with the rewards. So I pass them on to the customers that order from me. All right. All the supplies I used today, they're down in the description of the video. Plus, they are also over on my blog. On my blog, I have a supply list, so you can see the supplies as you click on them. And don't forget about our fabulous starter kit special. That's actually the best deal this month because you get that in color bonus. Let me see if I have that. Oh shoot, did I delete all of that? I think I did. So we have an in color bonus this month. So the new in colors, I'm just grabbing them, all the ink pads. So we have, these are our new in colors. And so if you are thinking that you want these colors and you haven't already gotten the starter kit, you're going to get these colors, the matching cardstock, the matching designer series paper, and some grid paper this month. The starter kit's only $99 and you get over $200 in product. You're going to get a free paper pumpkin, and okay, this is, if you want more information, go to this link, qbsquest.com/join, and that has a lot more information about the starter kit. I have a little video over there. It's just 5 minutes long, and it goes over what you will be getting in the starter kit and the perks that you get when you get the starter kit. So check it out. There's only 1 week left to get that fabulous starter kit special. The last day to get it is May 31st. But if you're interested, don't wait until the last day, because if there are any issues at all, and usually there's a lot of people signing up on the last day, it becomes harder to resolve them in a timely manner, and sometimes that means that you'll miss out on the deal. So I don't want anyone to miss out, so it would be best to do it this week if you're interested in that. All right, I've done a lot of talking today. Let's have a look and see how you guys are today. Good morning, Kimberly Ann. She says, that's a great way to lay out the dies. Oh, I'm glad you like my little tip. That's just one I thought of. I think there's other people who have other different ways of laying it out, but since I already had the magnet cards in that size, I just figured that's kind of, that's the way I always arrange my stamps in the case. If I ever have, with the rubber stamps, let me see, I'm going to grab some rubber stamps. Let's see if I have one that I already set up. Okay, this is a good example. All right, so this is a stamp set called Good Feelings. All right, and this one doesn't have too many greetings on it, but when I lay out my stamps on the inside, I don't stick them in willy-nilly. I look at the front and then see where that thank you is. It's over here on the side. So I basically lay out all my words in the same order as they appear on the front. That way I can just go, oh, okay, I need hip hip, and you know exactly where it is. With a set that doesn't have too many words, it's probably easy just to glance at them. But say there were 20 words in here, now it becomes really important the way that you lay things out so you can find it quickly. So I always use the front, if possible, as my guide. So I was already doing that with my stamps, so it was really easy to do that for the transition for the dies. Good morning, Deborah. Oh my goodness, you've got clouds today. Well, I hope you get sunshine. You'll get sunshine soon, right? The clouds will blow away. Right now we have sunshine, but this morning I woke up to clouds. And I guess this morning when I woke up, I felt, ugh. I felt like kind of not depressed, but it was like, you know, some days when you just need some sunshine in your life, I wake up and I'm like, ugh. Where's the sun? I need the sun. I feel like maybe I'm a plant or something. So hopefully you'll get some sunshine later today. Good morning, Dee. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Janine. Oh, Janine says my sound is outstanding today. You know what? I checked this morning before I got on here, and I went into my my sound options and I bumped it back up. It got moved right back down to middle of the road. I don't know, maybe that happens if I turn off my computer and turn it back on again. All of those options reset for some reason. So I'm going to try and remember to move my output all the way to high, because people can always make me sound quieter, right? They can even mute me, but don't mute me. Please don't mute me. Okay. Good morning, Cindy from Everett, Washington. Janine says, she confirms, yes, that was her pick today. This, where am I? Oh my gosh. Where did I must have gotten rid, how I don't know how I got rid of these already, but okay, so list. Now I'm gonna find it and bring it up again. I don't know how I managed to like get rid of all the important overlays today. Okay, and the card's really big, and I made it small at the beginning. But this was Janine's card choice, and you know it is a very neutral colored card, but there's so many ways. I like it actually. That it's a little. Can I say bland, Janine? It's a beautiful card. It's just a very one colored card, right? But there's a lot of ways to dress it up, and that's kind of the fun thing about this card is that you know you can go that way if you want. You can be really neutral, or you can go like whoa, lots of color, right? So I like sometimes when the card, I like to pick cards sometimes as my card choices that might otherwise be overlooked, because the idea is how many different ways can we dress up a card, and I think this layout has a lot of potential. So Janine says she plans to use this layout for a card at her class. Oh yes, I think that's an actually a really good idea. She said she also loves the die and that greeting set. I think it's going to be a very popular combination, the greetings plus the dies, because last year people were doing this with fussy cutting, like cutting around greetings like that. That's been a real trend lately. But now it's a trend that you don't have to work too hard to get, right? That's the cool thing. Okay. Cindy said she will try the number 3 with the plates and the mini. Yes, you've absolutely got to do that. If you've not if you don't have problems. Some people don't have problems. And what happens with the machines, the die cutting machines, is there is a little leeway. Not all of the machines are exactly identical, but I think for most of the machines, the problem is that with the number 1 plate, they are just a little too tight. So when you're trying to crank it through, you know, you're putting it through a really tight space. And for some reason, that light gray plate is just a little smaller. You can hold up the 2 plates and they look identical to me, but the light gray plate must be just a little tiny bit like thinner, and that's why it just runs through like a breeze. No more problems I've had with that. It's just wonderful. Good morning, Amy. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you for giving me feedback. Cindy says she likes this layout. I do too, a lot. Kimberly Ann said the card was pretty. Amy said both cards are beautiful. Kimberly Ann says she likes both cards equally. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that both cards look good. And that means that paper is going to be probably all the different neutral colors on the back will work really, really well. That paper has so many beautiful patterns. You can see I've got some of them cut up. You can see some of the background colors and papers, but it's just so gorgeous. Like, look at this one. Isn't that pretty? And then that's the background. So I think that background would work well too. You just have to play around with the different types of backgrounds. I have my landscaper guy right now. He is like right by my window. It is loud with a blower. Just want to note, we did our landscaping for our lawn all of our lives, but now we're renting this house, and part of our rental agreement was they want to keep their yard the way they want it, so they landscapers are part of our rental agreement. So for the first time in our lives, we are not doing our own yard work, which is kind of great, but they come when they come, and sometimes that's during my life. So okay, moving on. Kimberly Ann says, I think I need to go and reorganize how my stamps are arranged in the cases. Oh, I'm glad that helped, Kimberly Ann. And you're in Ontario. Oh, yes, it is a little colder there. Our son went back to Ontario this week. He's in Waterloo. So, well, happy belated Victoria Day, because he was back. He drove back Sunday and he was there for Monday. And then this week we have this next Monday coming up. We have Memorial Day here, so our holidays do not sync with Canada, but maybe that's a good thing for travel purposes. Not both countries have a holiday at the same time. So, all right. Well, I hope it warms up for you. Janine says, the original card is bland. LOL. What I liked was the layout. I know. I think you did a really good job of picking the layout. And I often do that with cards sometimes. I choose a card that might just kind of look a little blah. But the layout was really good. I think everyone's going to have fun with it. Well, guys, I want to say thank you so much for being here this morning. You have cheered me up so much. I woke up in a kind of a blah mood and I was like, I'm just going to push through today until I get to a better part of the day. Do you ever have that? Like you wake up and you just kind of feel like blah. And then you're just like, okay, I know later on things are going to improve and get better. I just need to get through this blah part of my day and, maybe even change things up a little bit, maybe do something different today, although Tuesdays is my busiest day of the week. And so, maybe just change things up and I don't know, it's weird, but sometimes like tidying up my house or doing laundry or something different than work when work was what I had planned, a change up sometimes just makes me feel a little better. I think some of us, especially me, since we are still playing it really safe, I just really don't want to get COVID. And so we haven't really gone out in the world too much. And I think it's starting to affect my mood mentally because I do want to connect with people. I just don't really want to get sick at a random time of not my choosing. So, I just know that if I did, I would probably get sick, and I probably am healthy enough that I wouldn't have a serious problem at this point. It's just that, who wants to get sick if they don't want to, right? So I don't know. Anyway, that is kind of, just having a very kind of monotonous life day after day. My son said to us, he goes, don't you feel like your life is like Groundhog Day? Because I see you and Dad and you kind of just do the same thing every day. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. Maybe we should like break out of Groundhog Day in a positive way, not in some of the negative ways that Bill Murray tried to break out of Groundhog Day, but just find some ways to like change things up. We need to get out in nature a little bit more than just the morning walk. All right, I really went off topic there, but I hope that me talking about things and if you are having a blah day, maybe stop what you're doing. Now, if you're at work, you probably have to finish the day out. But like say if you're retired and you're having a blah day, maybe making a card will make you happy, or maybe taking a walk will make you happy. Going outside and going for a walk, you're certainly not in danger out there in terms of COVID. It's a lot less likely if you're just like walking down the street. I'm not fearful in that regard. But just change up your day and do something that will maybe perk you up, maybe something that you want to do. Like what I really want to do right now is scan all of my old photos that are still like in hard copy. I want to scan them all into digital format, and I need like a day, to sit down and do another batch. So that's what I would like to do. So maybe I will schedule that in for later that week and just take a break from what I normally do just to change things up a little bit. And hopefully that will help your mood, or maybe call a friend, or meet at the park for lunch or something. I don't know, but just change something up and reach out to someone and find a way to perk up your day a little bit. All right. Thank you so much for all the good wishes. And I hope to see you on Friday when I'll have another card or 3D. And that will be on YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. I hope to see you then. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.